A plethora of casualties in Waukesha, Wisconsin. Biden implements travel bans, and is Kyle still our guy? Stay tuned. Welcome back to the KGB Show.
I'm Caden.
I'm Gabe.
I am Blake.
And before we start the video, subscribe, turn on post notifications, like, comment, go into the link in our description, and
subscribe to us on Patreon. If you join for if you subscribe for $5 a month, you get access to our Discord server where there are a lot of funny memes. You can talk to us, and yeah.
Also, if you haven't yet, go back and watch all of our previous videos. We have great content up and a lot of good content coming.
The last video was only a minute long. You guys got an extra minute. You guys are about to watch a 20, 30-minute video. So
hopefully.
Yeah.
But anyways, today we are going to be talking about the very tragic event that happened in Waukesha, Wisconsin a couple of days ago, where a deranged, disgusting psychopath plowed his car through a Christmas parade, killing 6 people, one of whom was an 8-year-old boy, and injuring dozens more. Rest in peace to all those who died, and our prayers go out to their families and the families of all those who were injured during this attack. But let's talk about the guy who perpetrated this attack for a second. His name is Daryl Brooks.
Daryl Brooks, or Daryl Brooks, or however they want to pronounce his name. They pronounce it differently every time. They also pronounce Waukesha differently, or Waukesha, or Waukesha. This guy, okay? Let's pause, take it back a couple days prior, all right? Posting about how he loves biscuits, how he supports his ideology or whatever. Also, how much he hates white people, how he sent threats to white people.
Yeah, he's a well-known black supremacist.
Yeah, and he also loves his red SUV, by the way. His weapon of choice is his red SUV.
Very true, a weapon that he used prior to the attack, in a separate attack where he beat up a woman and then ran her over with the same red SUV that was used during the parade, and also appears in a music video of his because he is an aspiring rapper. He sucks. I mean, I think most rap sucks, but like, this guy's really bad.
He's terrible.
Only listen to Bryson Gray. He's awesome.
You know, I was watching the Daily Wire interview about Bryson Gray that he had. It was a great video. Everything he said in it was amazing. All right, we love you, Bryson. Great guy.
Very true, but this prior incident of this guy with his, we're assuming girlfriend, because it says girl, but I don't know if he was running over a random girl.
Randomly beat up a girl.
Well, he also did randomly. We don't know the motives exactly, but we're assuming.
We have a pretty good idea of the motives based on the stuff that he posts and the stuff that he talks about, which we're going to get into later. But.
Yeah, but this first incident, he was let off with an $1,000 bail because for some reason they're decriminalizing these BLM and black activists from their crimes.
BLM has tried to defend this guy already, and I definitely foresee more defending of him later in the future. But now,
there's been a common trend among Democratic mayors and Democratic governors of celebrating lowering bails for violent criminals and, decriminalizing stuff like shoplifting. You see that in California and in Chicago. Anything under $950, I think, is just a misdemeanor. So you see people just raiding stores because they can get away with it. Because Democrats love their criminals because those are the people who vote for them.
I'm pretty sure the FBI actually came out and said that they weren't tracking any of the BLM crimes and the black activist crimes, which is very interesting.
Speaking of BLM, this guy is an avid supporter of Black Lives Matter. You see it in the stuff that he posts. He posts a bunch of anti-white stuff. We talked about last week, anti-white hatred. This guy, prime suspect. He hates white people, which is interesting because Gabe saw that he was posting stuff, but I'm assuming it's because he is a black supremacist. Black supremacists do really hate Jewish people, on top of the fact that they hate white people.
It was a long paragraph right here. I could pop it up. I probably won't pop it up on the screen.
We honestly might need to bleep out that dude's name anyway. The dude with the funny mustache during World War II.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
He supports that guy. I think it's because of the whole eugenics thing, and he probably has this thing where he believes that black people are the superior race or whatever to everybody, which he's a black supremacist. I mean, that's probably what he does believe.
Which, of course, we can't attribute motive just yet because we don't know, but based on the stuff that he posts, based on the fact that he is a BLM activist, based on the fact that everyone who he killed and injured was white, and the fact that this was a Christmas parade, it is safe to assume that well, I'm not going to say it's safe to assume, but I'm assuming that this was a blatant attack on white people, an anti-white hatred attack. Many such cases, we've seen this happen before. We're seeing it happen more frequently as anti-white hatred is propagated throughout every aspect of our culture, from the government to the media to schools. So, yeah.
Now, one thing I think is funny is the BLM stuff, right? They always have the worst candidates as their, like, poster child, their poster children, poster boy, like George Floyd and that kind of stuff. This guy's the worst, just that I'm seeing right now out of this recent stuff that's happened. But he's also been given, like, the ability to do the worst things. He doesn't get punished, right? Like,
yeah, his car wasn't taken away.
Car wasn't taken away. They didn't say
over it.
Yeah, how do you get access to the same car that you beat up and ran over a woman with? Doesn't make a lot of sense. I don't understand it. But we compare this. You compare the coverage of this to the coverage. Sorry,
the coverage.
Sorry. I'm feeling a little under the weather, just by the way. But to the coverage of Kyle Rittenhouse. How is he being treated in the media versus this guy? We're not hearing a lot about this guy. Joe Biden had a few choice words about Kyle Rittenhouse after he defended himself. I'm not hearing anything about this guy, quite frankly.
Hopefully we do in the next coming weeks. If we don't...
It is very new, but still, Kyle Rittenhouse, when that happened, same night, the world exploded.
I mean, this is not... I'm not seeing a lot about this in the media. Now, I don't like to poison my brain by listening to legacy media, but... I mean, it seems like they're trying to brain hole it, similar to what happened with that school shooting in Arlington, Texas, that happened pretty recently, where it was a black school shooter. So, media doesn't really cover it a lot because it doesn't necessarily fit the narrative.
Now, a lot of people are condemning this situation, not because of what he did, but because people are politicizing it. This guy is a bad man who has bad intentions and did bad things. It's gonna be politicized because his motives, at least...
Everything in 2021 is political.
I mean, it's social stuff, right?
Everything social is political.
This guy basically politicizes it himself when he goes out talking about how much he hates white people and wants to beat up white people and wants to hurt white people. That's kind of politicizing it for the rest of us, and we can talk about that. So.
Yeah. Very true, but this anti-white hatred stuff, a lot of it, our current president is in support of. Speaking of our current president, he implemented a travel ban on a new strain because of a new strain of biscuits on a couple different countries.
Oh, this racist travel ban. Oh,
yeah.
Joe Biden's the real racist.
Yeah, remember when Trump banned travel from China and Joe Biden called it xenophobic and racist and all that good stuff? Well, now he's banning it from African countries, which is, man, you know, if I were a normie con, I'd be saying, he's banning travel from Africa. He must hate black people. But no, I'm not going to say that because I'm sick and tired of the whole Democrats are the real racist thing. It is always good to call it the hypocrisy. But just understand that hypocrisy is strictly reserved for those in power. The left obviously holds all the power in this country, so they are allowed to be hypocritical while everyone on the right just shouts about it, and it doesn't matter to them because they treat their friends good, and they treat us like their enemies, which we are their enemies.
Hypocrites don't care that they're hypocrites. That's one thing that you need to drill in your mind, okay? I used to say it all the time, but truly, hypocrites don't care that they're being hypocrites. 99% of the time, they really don't care.
Well, that's the thing. It's because they know they're being hypocritical. It's not like we're calling it out and they're like, oh, I didn't realize I was being hypocritical.
Oh,
like,
I changed my mind.
I changed my mind. Sorry. No,
so
it's completely intentional.
Which, like, that's why I'm not going to talk about it. I mean, like, yeah, he called the China travel ban racist, really cringe stuff. But that's not really what's important here. Hell, I think it's a good move. I mean, look, you talk about biscuits. You talk about how it's not much of a deadly disease. We're definitely going to get taken off of YouTube. But
we're going to bleep COVID.
I'll bleep every time we say.
Oh, instead of putting Kick Batowski over your mouth, we're going to put, like, that bacteria.
Yeah. But I honestly, like, it's a good move. I mean, I wish he would shut down the southern border. That would be epic. But hey, anything that restricts travel from other countries, for the most part right now, I'm totally cool with because America is full, no more immigration. But, of course, he's not going to block off travel for the people who are going to vote for him, obviously.
Yeah.
Which is what's happening at the southern border.
And we live in Texas, which is really sad to see because it's our own border.
What's more worrisome about the travel ban is the fact that if Biden is willing to go to lengths like that over this new Omicron variant, I believe it's called, I foresee
Omni-Man variant.
The Omni-Man variant. Yo, base. That would actually be so epic.
It's actually a virus that kills everything else.
It's just Omni-Man.
It's like actually something you should be worried about, unlike any other. But anyways, what I'm more worried about is that lockdowns are definitely imminent. I mean, if he's willing to go to these lengths, he will go to more lengths.
Yeah.
You could say that this is just a distraction from the Ghislaine Maxwell trial.
I was gonna say this is probably a distraction from everything. I mean,
the trial's coming up. Release the next variant. It's so true. I mean,
we already know conspiracy theory that Obama was in on this. We know that we'll have this. No, I mean, the name's bleeped.
No, this is literally true.
It's true.
Obama and Fauci funded the Wuhan lab. All this stuff is true, and honestly, our count isn't big enough to get taken down quite yet. So now, in the early days, the OG fans can see us when we're a little less optical.
Yeah. If you guys want to just share this to everybody, and then we'll start bleeping even more stuff out. But then we can actually put content on different places, different platforms for you guys to watch, unedited stuff.
Yeah, which I think this new variant, it's just another way of
more fear-mongering.
Getting more of those booster shots, the booster jabs, and the reason the jab doesn't work, the reason more people have died under Biden than under Trump in a shorter period of time is just because people aren't getting vaccinated, and you need more of these booster jabs.
Yeah.
That's what this is really about, if you ask me.
Well, the virus actually only targets unvaccinated people.
Not
for
true
your information
whatsoever. Hey, let me put this out there. High risk right here, all right? High risk. Haven't been vaccinated since I was 6 months old, all right? I got type 1 diabetes. High risk mode. I got biscuits one time, and it only lasted me a week, and I was completely fine after that. Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
So true. But anyways, I guess we can move on to the final topic of this video, which
if you don't mind, can I introduce this? All right, so
the moderator.
Is Kyle Rittenhouse still our guy? All right, I'm the person that Caden and Blake are trying to sway right now. They are actually on two different sides of this argument. I am very, middle ground right now. I'm looking at it, from this lens. Is Kyle Rittenhouse still our guy? I think we'll give the floor to, you want to go left to right first for them? This is left to right for them. So let's go Caden first.
Well, let's just start off with why this is controversial. It's because Kyle came out on a Tucker interview and said that he supports BLM. He says he's not really into politics and that he supports Andrew Yang.
Yeah. Basically, Kyle has been saying a lot of things since his since he was let go, since he was not convicted. What is the word I'm looking for?
Acquitted.
Since he was acquitted during his trial, he's been saying some things that have triggered a lot of right-wingers and had them a little worried. Caden being one of those people. I'm not very happy with the stuff that he's saying, but at the same time, I do understand what he is saying and why he might be doing it. And this is what we're going to get into in our debate. Caden v. Blake, Dawn of Gabriel.
Yeah, it won't really be much of a debate. It's not official or whatever. It's just them giving their points, me making a conclusion at the end, and then we could make that the official KGB statement.
Yeah, so of course he did say that he supports BLM, which could just be meaning, I support. Look, I think that Kyle Rittenhouse is just he's from what I see when he's talking, I truly believe that he really is not that into politics, that he doesn't invest a lot of his time into this the way that people like us do, people like you do. So I can understand why he would say something like that, because a lot of common conservative actors will be like, well, I support BLM, Black Lives Matter, I just don't support the rioting and the looting.
Yeah, but the thing is, he's doing this why? So he can get, less heat, he's already never going to get a job again, right? We know from different sources that he watches more paleo-con type people. We know that he has sort of our beliefs, that's what we thought, but he's not defending them, and he's folding to the left.
So since we have that information, I would argue, since we know that he does watch people like us, I would argue that he's simply doing this he's doing it 100% intentionally. He doesn't actually believe in the BLM movement. He just is saying this stuff to take a little less heat off, to get a little less heat.
That's the problem. That's the problem. I don't stand for people that aren't willing to take the heat.
But is he not awarded that? I mean, look, not everyone can do what we do. I mean, we put our faces out there.
He's already out there. He's already a target.
Yeah,
there's no point in bowing down to them.
So the bald lawyer. Do you remember the bald lawyer?
Yeah.
He said that he wants Kyle to change his name, move somewhere else, and start a new life. And quite honestly, after all that he's been through, it would be sort of sad to see him start to be used as a political puppet by people. Like, we saw that meme. Kyle Rittenhouse sentenced to 40 years of CPAC appearances. I mean, if that's not what this guy wants, just because he had to defend himself, then I think it'd be pretty sad for people on the right specifically to start vilifying him and be like, oh, no, screw this guy. I mean, I still think he's a hero.
That's the thing. No, I defend everything he did that night, obviously. Yeah. What happened? What went down in the trial, he did great. And, I don't hate the kid, obviously, because, he did great things. But he's not defending his true beliefs. And he can, if he wants to change his name and, move to the middle of nowhere in Kansas, that's fine. But him coming out and saying right now his true beliefs isn't going to change anything.
I want to talk about this Andrew Yang thing, because this at first glance is very concerning. Now, Andrew Yang, he's honestly a pretty cool guy. He went on Ben Shapiro's show. He was a Democratic.
He has a lot of money.
I actually didn't watch that.
Democratic candidate for president. He went on Ben Shapiro's show to talk to him about UBI. Now, when I saw Andrew Yang for the first time, I was kind of into it. I mean, the idea of UBI, I'm not entirely against. It's the other stuff. It's the it's being pro-choice, it's being pro-trans, all that stuff. Like, I really don't care about the economic aspects, but when I saw that Andrew Yang is like biscuits, I wasn't very happy with it. But again, when you're watching Kyle talk, like he said, he's not that interested in politics. He just thought, oh, Andrew Yang might be a cool guy.
But that's the thing. He said he still watches people like us.
We do know that.
We do know, and that's the thing. People who watch people like us aren't normal, like normie cons, right?
Yeah.
Because if you're, well, I guess if you're watching Tucker, you could be a normie con. But
if I could actually add to that really quick, so we know he watches people like us, right? Here's the thing, though. We are the ones that were mainly putting content about him last year, right? There's nowhere that we know that says that he used to watch that kind of content prior to the incident occurring, which means anybody that defends him, he will obviously be cool with, and he will watch their content. Additionally to that, all these people who are, neocons or whatever, they always put libertarians on a pedestal, right? They're these people who just like guns and they like freedom, and if you don't do anything
then he should have came out and said, I supported Joe Jorgensen.
So yeah, but I don't know. If you look at Yang, right?
I don't think he knew who Joe Jorgensen was.
Most people don't.
Yeah, most people literally don't know who that
True.
is.
But I don't know. I could definitely see Kyle as just someone who likes us because we supported him. And I'm not saying that it's great that.
Well, normie cons also supported him.
I don't think Kyle needs to be like some based, red-pilled, like dissident right-wing
He also doesn't
guy.
have to go on Tucker's show and say these things. He doesn't have to clarify anything. He could just disappear. If he wanted to disappear, he could have already done that.
That is
very true, but I think there's something to be said. I think we still need to support him as a hero.
No, he's still a hero. He's still a hero.
Even if he's just a normal guy.
But I do not support what he's saying.
He could be an average, middle of the bell curve IQ dude who had to defend himself against the left, and we should still point to that as the example.
All I'm saying, if I had to defend myself against the left, I would not come out afterwards saying, I totally supported their right to be there. No, you tried to kill me.
I definitely agree on that side with Caden, where even if you support BLM as a movement, right? These people who say, I support BLM as a movement, just not as an organization, they're anti the nuclear family, all that jazz. I don't think that you should be going out after all these people are completely against you, want to kill you, and have a target directly on your back because of them, and say, well, I still support your right to do those kind of things, which from our perspective, it's easy to say, right? We've already put ourselves in this conservative hole. I don't think that he necessarily has to. I agree on that side with Blake. He doesn't need to, for sure, be like, oh, I'm a hardcore conservative. This is what I believe.
That's the thing,
Screw
though.
BLM,
if his
that kind of
intent was
stuff.
to disappear, then it wouldn't matter what he said because he'll be gone, right?
How much money do you think he's getting paid by Tucker and anyone else for
He's
doing
gonna
these
he's
interviews?
not gonna have to work a day in the rest of his life.
Yeah.
Once he sues everyone he needs to sue, it's gonna be
Which is beneficial. I mean, I say he's still our guy because he can represent us in the fight against the slander and libel against him and Joe
if
Biden.
he stands
now,
up
look,
for
I
our
honestly
views.
I cannot imagine being in his situation and not having just a total, complete burning hatred.
Literally, I would be like, no, these
for
people are
BLM.
evil.
So true, but he just, dude, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. Caden's kind of stumping me here because it is sad. It is really sad to see. Just now that I think about it,
I was listening to
like these
it's
people
really-
tried to kill you. Are you really gonna come out and say like, no, I support their right to be there? No,
It is really sad
No.
to see, and originally, okay, my firm opinion on this was on Caden's side, right? And then I completely switched to Blake's side, and this was before they even were talking about it, right? We were on a long drive. I was talking to Kai about it. After I made that statement, Kai went on and explained it even more in a group chat that we're in. And Kai then went and said, look, we're all thinking of this in our minds, right? What we would do in his situation. But the thing is, he doesn't have all the accumulative knowledge that we do from the past year of being bashed and hated by these people, and also putting ourselves out there and having these opinions and learning, right? He's probably not been on the internet at all, right? Besides people looking at stuff about him, right? And then other than that, he probably doesn't look into a lot of political philosophy or any cultural issues other than his own, because he just likes shooting guns. He likes his Second Amendment. I'd probably say that there's good arguments on both sides here, and I know that sounds really cringe. I think Caden has a great point about the BLM stuff, and I think we all agree that the Yang stuff is pretty cringe, but he also did go to a Trump rally. You know?
what I just cannot stand to see are people bashing him.
yeah, I don't think anyone
Like-
should be bashing him.
Yeah,
he's a confused
That's what
kid.
I was seeing
He's a
after
confused kid.
he said the BLM thing. Like, we won in the regard that he is a free man, and that should be good enough for us. He doesn't have to be this conservative figure or whatever.
That's the thing, but he's putting himself out there doing all these interviews and not backing us after we backed him for so long.
I think this might have to be like the little closing statement. I think Blake's point is correct for the most part. Caden's last point right there, where he did switch up a bit, but we do put people out as conservatives and support people as conservatives that go and do very degenerate bad things that are way worse than Kyle Rittenhouse saying that he once supported Andrew Yang.
Who do we support that?
Not
Well,
us
who do we
specifically.
support?
I'm talking about
the conservative movement
talking about
in general. I mean,
conservative
look,
movement
you
in
talk about
general.
Tommy Lauren. I mean, she
Yeah,
gets propped up pretty
Yeah.
good, and she's pro-choice.
But then again, all of us we don't like her.
Yeah,
so
true.
I'm not talking about us
There's a difference
specifically, but I'm
between
talking
us
about-
and like the normie cons.
But there's still the neocons who are also bashing Kyle for that stuff, which it shouldn't be happening. Let's end it right there. Look, Kyle Rittenhouse, still an American hero for what he did.
True.
After the fact, we do have contentions with what he said on Tucker's show, but don't go out and bashing him, all right? He is still our guy. He still did something great, but also don't stop fighting because he did win.
Yeah, very true.
Subscribe, turn on post notifications, like, comment.
Hit the bell.
Comment who you think, whose side you're on right now.
Is Kyle still our guy? Oh,
Is Kyle still our guy? Everybody, God bless. Have a great day. Link in
Patreon, all the
description
links
for
down there.
Patreon.
Just go check
true.
it out.
Yeah, just go check it out. Peace.